Charlie, forward and draw the sword, forward and up and rally.
Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Empire Total War 2 with this Scottish campaign. The year is 1765, the summer of 65. Last time around we allowed the enemy to counterattack. Mostly what I wanted was the enemy to concentrate all the smaller forces so that I could defeat them in one battle. However, if I allow them to continuously do this, it's not going to work out for me. We need to conquer territories. So I was inclined to actually end turn to start off with, because I wanted to kind of finish this business right here, have the Dutch revolt, and then having this army put to sea, and then actually transfer it over to the Italian campaign, which I think is going a lot better since we've taken Venice, but we've also taken Sardinia. Oh yes, we also have... I want to see if we can push through and perhaps take Astrakhan. Okay, so there's more troops here. Oh shit, it's a... Wait. Ah! That's a very strong full stack compared to the few troops I have. It's better than for this troop than to return and try and catch these guys before they reach the military center over here. Question is if I should order this army to double back and actually attack there. So far there's been no move from the Bavarians. Oh, it's actually French. I thought it was Bavarians held this. Did the Bavarians buy this? Or the French bought this of the Bavarians? Did that happen recently? Do I have troops that I can send to investigate this? This army could move if the area wasn't unhappy. I'm gonna have to, just so I remember, I'm gonna have to have this army move this way to deal with this instead. That's bad. I didn't think they would have such a strong presence here. They have tons of troops. And I have no units really easily recruitable. If I increase this, I will only be able to recruit the Russians here as... no extra troops actually be able to be recruited, more than I gain like one recruitment slot, right? That's not great. So that side is not looking too good. Anyways, back here. So we want to counterattack. Now I think they're a little bit strong down this area for me to move on Maryland just yet, but also because I don't really have enough troops garrisoned around Philadelphia to leave it. And we've got some other strong forces nearby. I could attack forwards here to take out this stack, but that's not going to give me anything. What I think though is if I can close out this area right here, or take this, I will be able to recruit troops from Maine as well. So we'll have Maine and Boston being able to recruit a lot of troops. As of now, I'm able to recruit 7 American units per turn. So I will quickly outnumber them here, but the longer I wait, the more pressure is going to build around Philadelphia. So I think last time around we'll allow these guys to counterattack, get their troops together. Now I'm going to take Michael Brown and his entire force. We're going to move north to Falmouth, Maine, and take out the enemy there. So they get 3,000 reinforcements, and there's 2,000 men defending. As most of the cannons were recruited from either Boston or Philadelphia, these troops lack cannons. That's going to be my main advantage. And we can see that a lot of the troops actually holding up within Maine is actually troops that survived the last battle. And then there's new troops out in the woods. Originally I was saying that it was really good that we had... What was it that started this war? There was the fact that the Prussians decided to go to war with someone. With the French, I think. Well, that's how it started, right? And that was the moment where I thought, you know, now we have it. I probably should have recruited more troops, because we are struggling a bit here and there. Initial success, but it quickly stalled because I didn't have the troops to follow up. Enough of that, though. Let's go ahead and fight this battle here. Take Maine. We're gonna have to double back to Boston and leave some troops here to defend Maine. But hopefully I will be able to recruit a lot more get more troops coming out of Maine, and will rely heavily on the Americans. As I most likely will not be able to send more Scottish troops as of now anyways. With that said, let's go ahead and fight this battle, shall we? And so the battle begins. I start with a commanding hill, perfect for my artillery to reign over this battlefield. My Scottish troops are advancing across the road, while the Americans are coming out of the woods. The initial enemy force, as we can see marching through right here, is unaware of the fact that the Americans have set up on their flank. They're eager to get close to my troops to avoid getting fired upon by the artillery. I have gone ahead and set up the American force like this, so the weaker troops that took part in the last battle is reserved back here, while the fresh troops, 4 units, ready to pounce on the French right here, where the commander just got taken out. It's not a proper commander though, it's command of Colonial Light Cavalry. 2 units of the Americans are set up here to guard as they move forward, which is good because we've got enemy cavalry moving in here. As I can see that the enemy's cavalry is moving along here. Actually open fire, all of you. The Native Americans are going straight into the Scottish troops. It's tomahawk throwers. They're trying to set up. They've already lost 100 men getting close, trying to get close to the line. I'm gonna have to switch the targets here, as I fear that I will shoot my own men. Right, the enemy cavalry was sent off. The Americans should move up now and envelop the French units that are here. Meanwhile, these 2 should march up, take the road, and then these troops should move like that. The enemy is returning fire, and unfortunately my American troops were stalled a little bit by the fact of the enemy's reinforcements. What we need to do here is we need to wheel in the flanks here, and I'll actually tell the Americans to hurry up, get into position here, and we'll tell the Americans to get into position quickly here. I'm not as decisively taking out this force as I thought I would, although because the smoke is obscuring the battlefield, I haven't seen the amount of damage that I've actually done on my French enemy here, which is substantial. Right, we're about to come into contact with native musket infantry. That could be deadly. Close range volley on the fresh American unit here before it was able to set up. Heavy casualties, numbering 80 men. However, once they respond, they take out a significant amount of the enemy, and as more regiments are pouring in, I am decisively winning this fight. You guys stopped fighting for whatever god-forsaken reason. Also at this point, the howitzer should probably hold fire, and you should form into a square. Oh, the enemy is firing from us beyond our ability to respond. Okay, the entire enemy force is now on the run. I will order the Americans to charge in. Unfortunately, quite high losses on my American troops here, or on all my troops. Now I know that because the French have been able to have a lot more of these research centers, means that they have very good technology. I'm gonna rely a lot on my cannons to deal with the reinforcement. We're gonna see about waking these guys up. Right, hold your fire. Or it's easier just to move them. I'm gonna move the the line, and I'm gonna get the Americans here as well. I'm gonna get them back in line. So looks good. Okay, let's get all American troops actually in there. Right. They will not return. Here's another American unit that I missed. There we go, that should be all of them now. Order them into line. I will see if we can't wake these guys up by shooting at them, and then we'll see what, as the reinforcement gets closer. There's no point in me charging head first beyond the reach of my cannons just yet. So far, no hit here. Unfortunately, the ground is situated in such a way that it's going to be hard for us to hit them. I think eventually we'll hit them and see about getting them woken up. Right. Let the artillery barrage continue. One American unit was left behind as we retreated, and there's tons of natives now coming in. They formed square and they're holding for now, but without reinforcements they will surely perish. And now I'm bombarding my own men. Howitzers are a little bit tricky. Right, the unit unfortunately broke, and the French colonials are trying to pursue it. However, there's another line ready to halt their advance, giving them a little bit of a morale boost by forming into square. I'm going to order this one to move into line a little bit further back. The artillery can actually focus on the native auxiliary unit that's turning up behind there. It's a little bit annoying that the entire flank needs to be reloaded for them to fire. But it looks like the cavalry attack was thwarted. However, quite heavy losses as we can see here, especially among the Americans. The enemy cavalry was kind of lingering in the back for quite a long while, and then suddenly they sort of moved into action. And I wasn't too ready. Oh, they came back for a second, just to realize that, wait a minute, we need to go. Native auxiliaries should be able to deal with that, but so I've said for quite a while now. The enemy reinforcements slowly trickling in here. They're supposed to get 3,000 men in reinforcements. I really want to get these guys to move so we get the full battle going. I wonder here, actually, because most of them are coming from over there, some of them are coming from over here, but I should probably actually move my battle line like this, so that when the enemy, actually move there, when the enemy comes in here, the cannons can rip through that way. Right, they're firing beyond our reach. We'll have to advance. I'll see about sending cavalry over there just to wake them up. Get them moving. I think we need to involve some cavalry here before we lose too many of our American troops. I'll order in the 2 cavalry units, and then I'll see about getting the cuirassiers close enough to perhaps fire pistols and wake this unit up. Also, I'm noting actually there's quite a lot of enemy units coming this way. Gotta move the targeting for the cannons further and further back as to not shoot my own men. Perhaps this is the main attack route of the enemy army. I probably need to back this cuirassier unit up because those light troops looks to be actually readied for that attack. So I'm gonna move my troops back before they get shot by these guys. Instead, it's probably better to have these guys wrap around and attack the light infantry. We should have the entire American force moving this way at this point. Both cuirassiers should retire just slightly. Right, so we have 2 pretty strong units lining up here. So perhaps not the best to charge them right away, because that would be or could easily get shot to pieces that way. So let's see here. I want to see if I can hit these and unnerve them a bit with some cannon fire. They were perfectly arrayed to get hit really bad. Cannon shot took out 12 men. I think they've got quite a few troops on the field, so they're trying to organize them now. And you know what? I am in no hurry to meet their fire. I can go ahead and bombard them from afar, which is my clear advantage for quite a while. Tightening my grip around the enemy, I'm moving both forces closer. I saw an opportunity here, as a light unit has wandered away from the main force. Should be an easy target for the heavy cavalry as they come in, and the enemy is focusing on other things. They're moving towards the American line while I cut these guys up. I'm worried that this unit will turn up and shoot at them. So I'm going to break this unit as soon as possible. They've already lost 50 men. I'm surprised they haven't given way already. Ooh, that's a pretty good hit there by the howitzer. What I will do is I'll pull my cavalry off, and then I rush my Scottish troops right up to the side here to attack them. Meanwhile, because this is a Native American unit, it's going to be outpacing us in range. So I'm going to force my men forward there. We're going to extend the fire to go further back. We're going to have both of these units charge in with bayonets. The guards back up again. Now the American units are right up here. But as we can see, they're kind of below here. Charge them. They're kind of below, so they need to get up here to actually go ahead and start shooting at the enemy. And I'm going to bring up these units closer up here. Round shot, probably have to order that further away, and then the howitzers will target the ground right here. This line is kind of messed up right here. Also, there's a large force of enemy organizing here. I'll actually pull these guys back. Get the grenadiers up about halfway. And heavy cavalry, charge in there. Get rid of that one. As this one's coming in, we're going to close that with the cavalry. They're about to come over the bridge there. Grenadiers should be able to level a volley right into those guys. Looks like they're going to charge right into us almost. Right, the charge is no longer needed. Oh, did I order you to... I accidentally told them to fire a pistol. That's gonna perhaps cost me... I think that might have cost me one of the cuirassier units, which is down to 14. Charge that way. Howitzer, hold fire. They're down to just 14 men, and I think that's so low they won't get... I won't be able to replenish them. Right, let's strike the French before they are able to rally themselves. Oh, now these guys have actually woken up. Forward, the American troops right here. Cuirassiers, get back. We actually have a native bowman turning up behind us. Right, we're gonna switch lines again, so the regular Scottish troops gonna be headed up to become front line, and then these guys gonna hold as the Americans now charge in. I'm shooting my own men. Time for the cannons to hold fire. I'm gonna fire the howitzers though back there. My cavalry is not happy, 21 men. I'll have to replace a lot of the cavalry units with American cavalry as this slowly breaks down here. Right. I'm gonna detach one American. The other two are gonna continue through here. Right. No point in you firing on into that fight. Only will cause friendly fires. Extend line and prepare against the enemy there. And then these three should hurry up and get after those. Hold fire as we're now firing into friendlies. There's another horse regiment. I think all my horse regiments are gone after this battle. Charge in. Get rid of those. We're kind of outnumbered here. I will pull these guys back, and then I can take the cannons and open up fire here again. Get the Americans quickly into line here. Re-establish a line here. The unit furthest out here needs to extend this line. Oh, we've got enemy sharpshooters in among the houses. We need to push in some units there to deal with him. My last cavalry unit, the cuirassiers, need to move in. And then these units as reserves need to move up here. Right, the natives were dealt with over there. So I'll pull the Americans back in here as we are attacking the enemy from all sides. You guys need to close the gap. And then the cannons need to hold fire again. However, the howitzers target the ground right there. The light infantry is still too many for a good charge to go in. I want to see them waver a little bit before I order in my men to go in with the bayonet. And for the heavy cuirassiers to strike. They will ride close, fire pistols into their back. Surprised that the French are still standing here in the center, and they're not trying to break the encirclement either. Right, they are wavering. it's time to end. French howitzers will hold fire. Send in everything. Make sure that everyone holds fire, and then no one will have guard mode. Everyone is free to pursue the enemy at the utmost. And just off this church in Maine, the French forces are defeated and sent packing. Oh, there's more of them. God damn it, they've rallied more troops out way out yonder. I thought that was gonna be it. Right, rally all the troops. And we'll face down the last bit of enemies out here. And there we have it. Victory. The last unit is forced off the field. And here's the result of the battle. We deployed about 4,000 men against 5,000 enemies. We ended up losing 1,500 men. Compared to the enemy, though, which lost 4,600. Our force remained at 2,400 men, while the enemy force lingers at 700. Still pretty high casualties for my force. I thought we would do better, but you know, a lot of the Americans were fresh, and the enemy did get some good hits in. After all, American Volunteers is actually the unit that kills the most. 86 men remaining, so they fought really hard and ended up killing 300, followed by artillery, followed by Scottish line infantry. One thing to note, though, is that all cavalry was wiped out, which I am not surprised. They were already at low numbers, and I think a lot of it was when really they were sent in too early, and with the cuirassiers there was a mistake where I managed to have them ride up and fire their pistols rather than go straight into the light infantry, which cost out one unit its life. So no more cavalry, or no more Scottish cavalry for this army. Maine is now under my control, though. Question is for how long the Scottish part of the force will return, while a large part of the Americans will remain. So they do have troops close by that potentially could threaten Boston at this point, but I will get 7 new American units out of this, and this is actually really well developed, the army committee here, and I'm sure now I don't think I have any units that can be recruited in one turn. Actually I do. The American infantry mercenary and native musketeers or musketmen can both be recruited within 1 turn. Now there's a limit on them, but I could quickly then muster 6 units out of Maine, and the region should be hopefully easy enough to hold on to. A lot of the unhappiness is, of course, foreign resistance to foreign occupation. Next to that is industrialization. People in government is only 1, that's pretty good. 19 is because of culture. That is going to be reduced to 6, but it's going to take quite a few turns. Culture-wise, it's reducing rapidly, 4% per turn. There's still a lot of enemy forces. Oh, they've got some really big, heavy ships here. I need to get my heavy ships online here. I only have 56 guns and 72 guns here. In this, if that fleet right there were to sail down through here, they would open up and completely destroy the fleet here and open up for armies to slip through that way. Me now controlling Maine and Boston in this does limit the area here, and as we can see, we're starting to take very much control of this part here. So that should be good. Now there is risk for more counterattacks. I'm a little bit worrisome. Can I sabotage? 25% chance. Ah, I was actually successful. So at least this army won't be moving forward. This one though will, which is quite nasty because it has 4 units of howitzers. And the army, it doesn't say, I'm assume that it would almost be within striking distance of Philadelphia, or at least it could be moved up to be reinforcing an attack on Philadelphia, which certainly wouldn't be great. This one is not within range of anything, so attacking that wouldn't do anything. Sabotaging the building is not what I'm looking for. Sabotaging the army is 15%. And it doesn't even reach it. Right, so that's going on there. Now comes the end turn, and I think the worst blows might be blown here. But the thing is, if I move away now, then perhaps I should move away now, rather than try and have the Spanish attack me there, because they're gonna be too many anyways. So what I should do, even though I would be giving away this region, I think too early, it might be better actually to give it away now. The thing is, who's gonna accept it? That's the question. I think it, oh yeah, I will have to go through like this. There we go. The thing is, I'll have to pass Spain, and I'll need a stronger fleet for that. Damn, why is it lagging so badly across here? Now I have a very much stronger force here, but I think I need to put together an even stronger force. So I'll take note. I don't need all of you. Actually, one needs to be protecting the main and the main port there. Right, and we need to put an admiral in charge of this. So we put Fergus Barr in charge of this. Now I'm hoping this is strong enough to pass by the Spanish without problem and pass by Gibraltar. I wonder if, rather than go directly through here, trying to kind of hide, that's a Genoan fleet, so not my problem, go like this and try to avoid as much as possible. Perhaps call out this fleet to do some raiding on the enemy. Spanish trade out of there. This Spanish trade is actually quite a lot. I only need one ship to raid it though. Oh, they have nothing to guard it. I just denied them 6,000. And then another 1,000 through there. That's 7,000 of trade denied for the Spanish. 17,000 out of this. Where? Wait, if they have no fleet stationed here, and they have no fleet stationed here, and clearly they have nothing here, and what I can see, there's nothing here. What is stopping me from raiding this as well? Which denies them 17,000. And then this one can actually continue up here where the Spanish have 2,000. And then it's just this area left. But I think they might have a fleet here. Because they have no fleets anywhere else. Wait, did the French have anything here? Oh, the Prussian fleet is here blockading. Oh. You know what? We'll deny the Spanish their trade for a more prolonged period of time by actually stationing. Oh, that ship couldn't go as far. By stationing, actually, since this is kind of seemingly the Spanish Maine, I'm gonna put the entire fleet, the rest of it, there. I need something though to pick up these guys once that's done. So we kind of strangled Spanish trade. That's gonna hit them pretty hard, I think. Given that I reduced it by what, 25,000 or something? That's good. That's good. Right. Time to finally test the waters. End turn. Oh yes. No. God damn it. I need to sell this. Who am I gonna sell it to though? Who do we think is gonna accept this? Someone far away and someone that would lose it right away. But also someone that wouldn't go ahead and protect it to Austria. Petro, how about you, Ukraine? Would you like to own the Netherlands for like 2 seconds? Just so that it does not fall into the hand of the Spanish. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to give them quite a lot. I'm gonna start off by suggesting 75,000 for the Netherlands. Ah, perhaps they were actually more happy to receive it. What? Suddenly, there's no problem at all at holding on to this. I wanted to break off into its own region. What I need to do is I need to give Ukraine a lot of social technologies, so that so that the university actually causes unhappiness. Do we have anything else that causes unhappiness through here? Preserved food. No one likes preserved foods. Preservatives in food. That gets people slightly annoyed at one point. Alright, did that help? A little bit, but mostly for the upper classes. The lower classes are fine. Right. I was hoping this region would become Dutch. Now it's just Ukraine. Great. Anyways, let's end turn. See what the enemy comes up with in response to this. And I figure that I should also start to recruit a lot of new troops to replace the ones we lost. And then also get our own heavy guns going. I can actually have 2 more here, so let's get some Scottish infantry. On Ireland, I can get more of the... Oh, more of the Irish Brigade. And then the Irish Line Infantry we can put to work. Right. Probably mostly cavalry, because I can get a lot of 1-point infantry up in America. Can I recruit Venetian troops? Riflemen! I can actually get a rifleman here. I can also get a 32-pounder howitzer, which would be good to put to use. This is a full stack though, so it doesn't really have room, besides if I pull some of the cannons away. The 18-pounders should be able to be replaced by 24-pounder guns instead. It could be 2 24-pounder guns and then 1 howitzer for each. So that would be set up to replace the cannons for those 2 armies. And I should also prepare to have this done for the army that is about to arrive as well. Great, hopefully everything's set. Let's go ahead and end turn, see what the enemy comes up with, and go from there. The force here is getting attacked, 6,000 men attacking a force of 2,500. I'll decide to retreat to try and avoid that. Well, there's the Spanish fleet. It was in the port which I thought it was in. And looking at it, it's the home fleet of the Spanish is not actually that strong. It's stronger than this one ship though. So I'll go ahead and retreat, but this should be manageable if I set my fleet to work at this. I got off rather lightly with that end turn. We were only attacked twice. Now there's an enemy raid. Now the enemy's attacks are increasing. We have an enemy raid in Verona. So I don't know what I was trying to build here, but now there's 2 Roman cavalry units there. Path blocked for a number of units. Workers' riots in Tartaria. That should subside soon enough. This army should be now heading right way there. I was lucky to actually retreat there, but because as you can see, the French force actually moved up to block the bridge, so they were planning on closing me in there, so I wouldn't be able to get away. So we're going to retreat this force all the way back there. Lots of new recruits being recruited. Fleet arrives with these replacements. Were both units lost here? What was it now that I lost? It was 1 grenadier and 1 rifleman, I believe. This one has, let's see, it's this force right here that is missing a grenadier. So the grenadier should be sent there. And then I can't remember where the not regular line infantry guy was supposed to go. This should be soon enough. We should be able to move this army soon enough, shouldn't we?
Waiting for orders.
3. I can actually then leave the newly recruited French troops there. So it's a grenadier who is... God damn it. It's a grenadier who should depart. I'm doing all of this just to replace a single bloody unit. And now this unit is of course missing a normal infantry guy. Boom. Then these 2 units are set. Right. Oh yes. This, I saw this. The French landed a fleet through here and has landed a large force, mostly generals and tons of militia units, but it's still a 40 stack. I don't know, I'm thinking it came from Newfoundland and it came through and landed right here next to Boston, which is a problem because well, there's a lot of them. In terms of the troops that I'm thinking here, I guess native musketmen is probably the strongest. They're a little bit low on morale. And actually the American mercenaries are better. So we're gonna get American infantry mercenaries. Is this yeah, mercenaries. Alright. Trait gained. No sense of shame. What a time to lose your sense of shame. They're trying to gather troops here. What I need to do is
Spying.
failed.
Your eyes
That would have been nice if that worked. There's also tons of troops now gathering here. And I don't know what the best idea is to attack, because... or to try and wait for defend, because there's so many of them. If I'd prepared earlier, I might have actually burned down Philadelphia and left it to the French to try and recover that. With the situation that it is, also the French are gathering a pretty large stack here. So I wonder, since I control the river crossing through here, these two armies might be inclined then to move through here and then attack through here. Is he going where I think he might be going? There's no way I'll be able to recruit enough troops to defend that anyways. Right, you'll be joining that. This naval force doesn't get any further, so you'll have to stay there. The Americans need reinforcements and the wait for resupply. I wonder here... I can't send these troops further anyways because they landed all those bloody troops there. Had I known that, perhaps I would have stationed some ships there, but even then the we're gonna deny the French some trade here. Even then the French could have just landed on the coast and still got through there.
Yes, my lord.
We need to hit some of these to hopefully...
Watching and listening.
Failed. I think I was lucky that one time I managed to get one sabotage in. Right. There's definitely going to be a counterattack here, and there's definitely going to be a counterattack here. At least these parts are safe. This should hopefully be safe as well. But perhaps this force now is in need of a general. Finley Park takes command of the Americans. Back in Europe, they still hold on to it, and exempting it from tax works just fine for them, apparently. I'm gonna prep the Ukrainians with even more technologies, and... oh wait, now Sweden has potentially a road to take that. It's gonna, I was hoping I'd be able to release the Netherlands. Right, my fleet with this army. Wait. This army is close to replenished. There is no strong Spanish presence here. But if I land here, I might wake up the ire of all of these troops. So it might be best to stay away. Even if attacking and taking Portugal would be a tempting target. The thing though is Portugal is not actually that valuable. I will move the fleet here. The interesting thing is the Spanish moved troops to reclaim a lot of these different ports, but not the main one. Not the main one, where they stand to lose the most money. If this could lead to Spanish bankruptcy, then all their armies would start to deteriorate, and we could very well see I was hoping I could move perhaps some more, because if this one is forced out, he's gonna have to fight this force right here. And I would like to have at least one of the really big ships, because they have 390 ships. I've got a lot of 84s, but nothing like that. this one's replenished now. These two armies should be ready to move. This area is still very unhappy. I should recruit some Spanish or some Italian troops if I could. Right there. And there's nothing here. They've moved. I want to send something over here to see what's going on up there. Let's see, where else are we fighting? Nowhere else really. We've started to gather troops now here and here. So I will have another force to launch at the enemies. I want to see if I can just start to get that unhappiness going in the Netherlands. I'm just going to give... I think what it is that some technologies... No, they're locked behind these, aren't they? I'm just giving these guys so much. I think some of the other technologies are locked because they're missing something else earlier in the tree. No, apparently not. And no closer. Perhaps my spy should sabotage the happiness building. And that could push the populace over the edge. Culture and entertainment should be falling. Clearly not enough though. God damn it. Well, wait, shouldn't I not be able to trade with the Ukrainians now? No, they do not have a path. They do have a port now, but they know, unless this becomes, when Sweden takes Ukraine's regular center, then that become their center, and then they can trade with me. Interesting stuff. Right. For the next video, because I think we won't be able to fit a battle in, because I'm expecting heavy attack both on Boston, but most likely Philadelphia, which will stand a really heavy attack on, with thousands of troops coming from the south here, and potentially here. I think that's going to have to be moved into its own video. So there won't be like any critical movements in the next video. I'm hoping though that as we go along here, we're going to get more troops here, and we're going to be able to fortify this with a lot of cannons, which will give free reign to Finley Kid to actually move through here, aid in this, take out this, potentially move with ships over to Newfoundland, take that out, because that force that was on there, the full stack, has now been moved here. And we can kind of secure the north. So we're not fighting multiple fronts, hopefully, or as many fronts as we're doing right now. So we're closing out some fronts. And then once we're able to move, we'll see about starting to move here as well. Now, that was the reason that I was moving the spy this way, because I wanted to see what they've got here. I need to launch more spies into this area, but I don't think I have any. Also, I do note that the Prussians are now moving in on Bavaria. This is burning. They have moved a full stack in. I think they probably lost that one, but they will be continuously moving troops here, and will hope that the Prussians advance and start putting pressure through here in the war. So it's a little bit touch and go. What I need to do is I need to kind of go over a little bit, get more troops on the move. One thing that I do need to do is we need to get this army moved into the attack. I'm going to move 2 ships over just so that we can have this force ready, and then jumping on to Naples, I think. And then that can coincide with Ross Adelton moving down and attacking Rome and Italy. Wait, where is actually the Named army. This is the named army, right? Is it? This must be the named army, right? Lord Gordon's regiment. And yeah, Henrik's Lions. So this is the named army. We need to put that one into work as well. See, getting those membership units going. Anyways, it's high time for me to end it right here. So there's so much going on that we are barely getting a turn past every video. But that's how it is when you've got a world war going on. With that said, I will say like I always say. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.